See, can you all see the screen which I'm sharing? 3D printing technology. Can you see the screen
Yes,
which
ma'am.
I'm sharing?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah. Can somebody tell me what is 3D printing technology? Have you ever heard about this?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you hear about?
అంటే 3D ప్రింటింగ్ అంటే ఒక ప్లాస్టిక్ లేయర్ తో చేస్తాం మ్యామ్. అంటే వేర్ వి నీడ్ అంటే ఎక్కడైతే మనకు ఒక లేయర్ కావాల్సిందో ఆ ప్లాస్టిక్ లేయర్స్ చేసుకుంటే 3D ప్రింటింగ్ చేస్తాం మ్యామ్. ఇది ఎక్కువ మోల్డ్స్ తయారు చేయడానికి యూజ్ చేస్తారు మ్యామ్. అంటే ప్రోటోటైప్స్.
ఓకే.
ఇది ప్లాస్టిక్ తో చేస్తారు మ్యామ్. ఐరన్ తో చేస్తారు.
Short, easy and more complex products can be made by using 3D printing, where we can't use injection molding machines or some other machines we can't use. In that places we can use 3D printing machines.
Okay. Okay. So different people.
Number of quantities also, ma'am. Suppose 1 or 2 quantities kavalante, we don't require to go into that other machines. Rather, we can do it in 3D printing itself.
Okay. Okay. So different people got different opinions on 3D printing technology. Okay. Now let us see what opinion you'll get by end of this session. Okay. Okay now. Now let me tell you what is this 3D printing technology, why we have introduced this, what is the purpose, means we'll say na what do you say, necessity is the mother of invention. So what was the necessity to bring this 3D printing technology? Okay. So before entering into the topic, let us know what is this 3D printing technology. See, 3D printing technology is called as additive manufacturing technology. Why do we call this as additive manufacturing technology? See, if you look at the conventional methods of manufacturing, it means you look at your lathe machines, you look at your milling machines, you look at your drilling machines, look at your grinding machines, whatever the conventional machines you take. Okay, so there what we are doing is we are removing the material in order to get the required product. It means you have some finished product, which you have some raw material, you are removing the unwanted material in order to get the required component. Okay, but here additive manufacturing is where we just add the material wherever required. It means we don't start from raw material to final component. Here raw material will be like in the form of wires. Okay, we melt this wire and we pour on the platform so that you get the required component. It means we add layers of material to get the required component. So what you're doing here, you're adding the material, you're not removing the material. Okay, you're adding the required material in order to get the component. Okay, so that's why we call this technology as 3D printing technology. So now let us look at the definition of this 3D printing technology. Okay, 3D printing or additive manufacturing is a construction of three-dimensional object from a CAD model or a digital 3D model. What do you mean by this? You see here, first initially, if you want to make some component, what we do is either we make a 3D model using CAD software. You know what is CAD? Okay, computer aided designing. It means using some CATIA, Pro-E, Unigraphics. So using some 3D modeling software, we make a model. Okay, that model we connect to, which actually this 3D printing machine will be connected to some computer. So the computer will give input to the 3D modeling machine or 3D printing machine, and 3D printing machine will print the required component. That is one way. What is 3D digital model? 3D model is, see for example, if you're scanning something, like you're scanning your bone. Okay, if you have some such scan, okay, you can copy that scan and you can make 3D model out of that, and that model also you can print it. Okay, so like this you have different techniques of printing such 3D components. Okay, what is the purpose of making this 3D printing? What made scientists to think about this 3D printing? See, initially these 3D, actually what happened is for aerospace applications, the cost of component is less, but the cost of sending that component to space was more. It means there is small fault, there is some damage with the nut or bolt, or there is some damage with very small component which cost very less. Okay, but it is some important component. In such case, what happens is the cost of component is less, but the cost of sending this component to the space was more. So this was the difficulty made scientists to think about a new technology where you can print the component then and there itself and you can use it. Okay, so this 3D printing technology was first used for, means it was first invented for aerospace applications. So see, I'm showing you the purpose. 3D printing technology was developed for aerospace applications. The cost of sending the part to space was more costly than the actual cost of the product. The 3D printing technology has been developed. Okay, so this is a purpose behind inventing the 3D printing technology. Now, what are the advantages you get with this 3D printing technology? See, what is 3D printing? Here you are printing a layer of materials, okay? So for that, what we do is actually we'll have a raw material, mostly some alloy mixed with plastic, okay? You can say it is some plastic component, okay? But the thing is, because of the alloys or the different materials that you're mixing along with this, the strength. Will you all please mute yourself? So, so here, as the cost of component is less and the cost of printing is becoming more, the scientists have invented this technology. So how do we print this 3D component is, see, this is the plastic component. You will have material in the form of plastic. So this plastic wire we connect to the 3D printing machine. The plastic wire or the material, the raw material, it's not completely plastic. Uh, you can call this some alloy mixed with plastic. Okay, so this plastic material gets melted and you have a knob which sends a fine thin layer of wire and it will give shape to the component depending upon the 3D model which you have made. Okay, so that is how the 3D printing will happen. So we have some advantages with this type of printing. First one is flexible in design. In the sense, whatever the components you feel very difficult to design in traditional manufacturing process, those things, such complicated shapes can be made in 3D printing very easily. And you can make a prototype. See, if you have some 3D model ready, you can make prototype out of it. Okay. Next thing, depending on the demand which you are getting, it means if you see if it is a conventional machine, if it is milling machine, you have different purpose. You have the grinding machine, it will be used for some other purpose. But here, the 3D printing technology, it will satisfy the machining process of all the materials because here you are not removing the material. Here you are adding the material. Okay, so you can print the material based on the demand. Okay, if you get demand to make some ball, you can make some ball. If you get demand to make some keychain, you can make some keychain. So depending on the demand, you can make some component. Okay, and next, whatever the parts which you make, those are light and also strong. Okay, so you can make fast design and production. Is it really possible to make fast design and production? See, in this case, fast design and cost effectiveness, these 2 points are applicable only if you go for some aerospace application and medical applications. Okay, not everywhere. If you look at the conventional process of machining, this process will cost, this conventional method will cost less when compared to 3D model. But if you go for aerospace applications and medical applications, the cost of production and cost effectiveness will come into picture in only those two things. Okay. Next one is the minimizing wastage. Minimizing wastage in the sense here you are not removing the material, here you are adding the material. So as a result, what happens is the percentage of scrap is reduced. Of course, at the beginning, at the end, some material will, however, get uh, wasted, but that wastage is very negligible. Okay, so these are the advantages of 3D printing technology. Any doubt still here? Do you have any doubts still here?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm continuing to next slide. What are the limitations you have with this 3D printing technology? First one is energy inefficiency, in the sense you require so much of electrical energy. It means it's almost double the energy which you're using for conventional methods. You need so much of power. Next one is these components are costly. What is the reason for being so costly is, first thing is the material is costly, and the time taken for printing is more, the cost of machine is high, the electric material, means the electric supply required is more, the cost of material is also more, everything is more for this. Okay, if you go for general purpose applications, it means if you want to make some keychain, if you get that keychain for 20 rupees outside, you get the same keychain for 200 rupees in 3D printing technology. So like this, if you go for very common use items, this application is costly. But if you go for some medical applications, like you see, if you want to print some heart, if you want to print some ear, so in such case, the cost will come down. Okay. Similarly, if you are going for some aerospace applications, see, though the cost of component is less, the cost of sending it to the space is more. So printing it is easy there. Okay. So depending on the application, this cost will vary. Okay. Next one is less choice in selecting the material. It means you don't have so many materials. Whatever the materials you have a composition of plastic. Okay. So as it is a plastic product, it is not eco-friendly. And whatever the printing you're doing, that is very slow. It means if you go for traditional manufacturing, the machining process will go on very fastly. But this, in case of 3D printing, it will print very slowly. And next thing is you don't get many colors, you don't have good surface finish. So if you look at the component, the 3D printed component very closely, the, the component will completely look like mesh. It means as you are making layers of materials and you're building the component throughout the component, at every layer, it will look like mesh. So you don't get required surface finish. And in order to operate the system and also in order to operate the 3D printing machine, you need a skilled person. And depending on the capacity of the machine which you are using, there is a size limitation. It means if you have small size 3D printing machine, you can print only small size components. So there is some size limitation in case of 3D printing technology. Okay. Any doubts still here?
No, ma'am.
Yeah. So where are we applying this? See, I told you we are already applying it in case of aerospace for making the mechanical components. See, here are some medical applications. You see the ear of the boy here and ear of the boy here. So whatever the ear we kept is a 3D printed ear. See, similarly, you see here, this is a 3D printed heart. And if you know, we can print many things like this. We can print bones, okay? We can print the 3D print of human person, human being. You can print a 3D model of a baby which got scanned. Okay, so like this, you have many medical applications. And see, Singapore government has just announced that they're developing some artificial meat. That is also a type of 3D printing technology. I don't really call it 3D printing. I'll go for 4D printing. I think it will be more suitable for 4D printing. I'll tell you what is 4D printing. Okay. What are the applications of this 3D printing technology? First one you see here, bioprinting. Organs and live tissues of organisms have been printed throughout this technology. So you can print like this. You can print your heart, you can print your kidney, you can print many things. Next one is prototyping. It has been used to make 3D models by using researchers and business industries. You can make some very small prototypes like this. Means instead of making some actual model, in order to represent your uh, company, like this is the car which we are manufacturing, so you can make some prototype. Okay, that thing. Next one is it has been used to manufacture different parts of machines and robots, so you can make small machine parts and also robot. Next is food. I told you See, NASA scientists have developed 3D printing food as an answer for food shortage. So I told you that in case of Singapore government, I told you actually these people are in short. It means they don't have much space to grow this hens, goats, and all. So what they are doing is instead of growing these animals, what they're planning to do is they're planning to make some meat in the laboratory itself. So like this, the 3D printing technology is replacing the requirement of food also. It means it is replacing the um, naturally generated food. Okay. So this is about 3D printing technology. So this is something we have learned when we were in BTech, but this technology is still developing. Okay, it's not completely developed. It didn't come to the hands of a common man. It means there is something more to get developed in 3D printing technology. Okay, but still, scientists are working on 4D printing technology. Now, can anybody guess what can be a 4D printing technology? I have told you what is 3D printing. Can somebody guess what can be a 4D printing technology? Anybody in the class? See, below is the figure which I have kept for your reference. That is a 4D printing technology, the example of 4D printing technology. Can anybody please look at the figure and tell me what's happening here? What can be a 4D printing technology?
ఎస్ మ్యామ్ అంటే 2D ప్లేన్ లో ప్రింట్ చేసి దాన్ని జాయిన్ చేస్తారు కదా మ్యామ్. 3D పెన్ అని ఒకటి దొరుకుతుంది మ్యామ్. దాంతో ఇట్లాగే కొన్ని స్ట్రక్చర్స్ అనేది చేస్తారు మ్యామ్.
అసెంబ్లీ
అంటే
ఆపరేషన్
మ్యామ్ 3 డైమెన్షనల్
Yes. 3-dimensional.
అంటే నార్మల్లీ లైక్ 3 డైమెన్షనల్ అంటే we just go for perpendicular planes on 3 axes కదా మ్యామ్. లైక్ 4D printing or 4D technology will be like overall గా it will be more flexible to do in overall directions.
Okay.
లైక్ 4th axis మిషన్ CNC లో ఎట్లా టర్న్ అవుతుందో అట్లానో ఏమో మ్యామ్.
Okay. Now let me
మేము
tell you.
3D లో ప్రింట్ చేసి జాయిన్ చేసి 4D కదా మ్యామ్.
అబ్బా. సరే, let me
ఓవరాల్
explain
ఫ్లెక్సిబిలిటీ ఎక్కువ ఉంటుందో మ్యామ్ 3D కైనా.
సరే. Okay, let me explain this. Okay, have you ever heard about the smart materials?
We heard ma'am.
You heard. Okay, what did you hear about it?
I ఒక word we heard ma'am, smart materials అని.
You don't know what actually it is.
ఆహా మ్యామ్ అది తెలియదు కానీ.
Okay, so we have some materials called as smart materials. So these are the materials which change its properties with respect to the environmental conditions. I repeat, these are the materials which change its properties with respect to the environmental conditions. In the sense, see for example, if you have some shirt made with smart material, okay, and if you are wearing that shirt and you are going to some area where it is very cool, okay, so what this shirt will do is it will it's because of the temperature which is present outside, what it will do is it will get contracted, it will get thickened, and it will become so tight that you feel very hot inside. Means it will be useful like your sweater. Okay, if you're wearing the same shirt and going to some area where it is very hot, so it will automatically expand, it will become loose, and it will allow the air to get inside so that you feel comfortable with the air. Okay, so like this, I'll give you one more example which you'll understand it better. If you go to some gift shop, okay, and in the gift shop you can find some teacups or gift cups where if you pour some hot water or hot coffee in it, the cup will change its color. Have you ever seen?
Yes ma'am.
It means that cup is changing its color with respect to the temperature, is it not? That cup is changing its color with respect to temperature. Right?
Heat.
Similarly, we have some components. It means, for example, if you have some wire made with some smart material, so that wire will get contracted when electricity is not passing through it. When you off the switch, the wire will get contracted automatically. And when you on the switch, because of presence of this electrical supply, the wire will get expanded and you can use that wire for plugging to your laptop or phone or something like that. Okay. So like this, these are smart materials. So smart materials are something which change its properties with respect to environmental conditions. Did you get the concept of the smart materials first? Did you understand the concept of smart materials first?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So 4D printing technology is something where we use a smart material for printing the component so that the component will change its properties with respect to the environmental conditions. In the sense, you see here, this is a component. Uh, you see, we call this smart materials as shape memory alloys. Shape memory alloys. So this is a 3D printed component or 3D printed component made with smart material, and so I'm calling this as a 4D printed component. Okay, so this is a component. I have kept it in some water. Okay, and now after observing the water, it is just turning itself into a ball. Okay, so like this, uh, Institute of MIT is developing such products. Presently, that research institute is presently working on 4D printing technology. So 4D printing is something where we make 3D printing with smart material to get some new type of components. It means with respect to the environment, in the sense with respect to the presence of fluid around it, or else with respect to the temperature, pressure, or electricity or magnetic field, whatever. That the component is changing its shape. Okay, such material printing of such smart printing of component using smart material is called a 4D printing technology. Did you get my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So presently, though this 3D printing is in application, it means you have one machine in our college also, 3D printing machine. So it came into market, but the application is very less because the machine is very costly. It costs around 6 to 7 lakhs. 3D printing, very small machine, where you can make very small components like your mobile phones, mobile phone covers. So such small machines are costing around 6 to 7 lakhs. So it is not in the hands of common man, but it is in the market. This 3D printing is in the market, but this 4D printing is the latest developing technology. Did you all get my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Any questions till what I have explained now? Any questions till what I have explained now?
మ్యామ్ 4D ప్రింటింగ్ కొంచెం డౌట్ అనిపిస్తుంది మ్యామ్. ఒకసారి మళ్ళీ ఇంకోసారి ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తారా మ్యామ్?
4D printing is where you use a smart material and you print it. Smart materials are shape memory alloys. It means for initially you have made 3D printing of this component. You kept it in some fluid. So in the fluid, it is changing its shape. Okay. When you remove this out of this fluid, again it will come back to its original position like this. Okay. 4D printing is uh, means printing a component with smart material is called as 4D printing. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Any more questions? Any more questions?
మ్యామ్ నిఖిల్ స్మార్ట్ మెటీరియల్ మ్యామ్?
Nikhil, see, not materials which we use very commonly are not smart materials. Smart materials are specially designed alloys. Means
Yes,
they
ma'am. అంటే ఫ్లూయిడ్ లో పెట్టినప్పుడు నిక్కిలో ఏదో మెటీరియల్ చూశాను మ్యామ్, దాని షేప్ అనేది రీగైన్ చేసుకుంది మ్యామ్, అందుకని అడిగాను.
I'll tell you something. Have you ever heard about magnetic rheological fluids? MRF fluids. MRF fluids.
నో మ్యామ్.
Oh, okay, I'll tell you about that fluid. This is a fluid where when you keep it in magnetic field, it will change its property. It means initially it will be in liquid stage, and when you keep it under magnetic field, it will become solid. Initially it is a liquid, but when you keep it under magnetic field, it will become solid. So like this. So see, previously we don't have this technology. We don't have the smart materials long back. These smart materials we are developing now. Nickel, aluminium, iron, copper, these are naturally available materials. We don't have such property. Smart materials will have some special names, just how I told. Magnetic rheological material, MRF fluids. You can work on this. You can go through different smart materials available. You can understand its working, how to make such smart material, and you can try it for different applications. And you can bring out some new research. See, you people are in 4th year, right? You can do some projects on different materials also. You can make some different components using different materials like this. It means I'm not asking everybody to do the same thing. People, those who are interested, can go through such applications. Yeah. Any doubts till what I have explained now? Any questions?
No, ma'am.